Hello and guten Tag. I'm going to be reviewing the Transformers Legacy Blitzwing. And today... Okay, I'm not doing that for the rest of the video. Plus, that was like the worst German accent ever. And I have him starting out in his tank mode because this is the mode that he comes packaged in the box. So anyway, let's just get right on into it by starting with that packaging. And just taking a closer look at that box art. I love the Legacy box art and how this came out with Blitzwing on the front. He's got the tank modes, his Transformers Legacy, says his name's Blitzwing, got some nice artwork on the side of his jet and tank modes. Here on the side says Transformers, then Takara, Legacy. Here on the side, got that Legacy artwork. Authentic Transformer! Here on the back of the box, you got the obligatory product shots and all that stuff. And then here we have that QR code. And then when you get that app opened up, right there, it says that his name is Blitzwing. He's got the nice little GIF there. It says that his alt mode is a jet and a tank. His function is ground and air commander, special unit, triple changers, origin universe, G1. Signature weapon, can punch through materials with unmatched force, launches the missiles from the knuckles. Bio, Blitzwing terrorizes his opponents by switching between 3 alt modes in battle. His strength is an 8, his intelligence is a 5, his speed is a 9, and his firepower is a 7. So anyway, that is it for the packaging. And starting to take a look at some of those accessories, Blitzwing... Frick. He does come with these guns right here, which look just like his G1 blasters, and they're cast out of a purple plastic, and they're got a little bit of waffling going on, and they've got a couple of ports and pegs and whatever, and so you can just port them anywhere where you see a 5mm port on the tank mode. You can easily just plug one of these right in there, and there you go. And then he comes with his iconic sword. It's cast out of the purple right there in the handle, but then painted up in that beautiful silver. Really love how metallic and shiny that looks, and it looks good in the hand. And obviously this can also store however you like on the vehicle mode as well. You just put that on there, and bam, there you go. And then Blitzwing comes with a pair of hands? I mean, they look pretty good and all painted up, all things considered. I mean, they're not that bad looking, but these don't really serve that much of a purpose for me in either robot mode or vehicle mode. And so the way how they want you to store them on the vehicle mode is you take this and you plug it. There's a port right there and a peg there, and you plug this in. And that makes us some missile pods, and those don't look too shabby. And then to store them, there's these little tabs and slots right here that then have this tab in right on there. And they want you to plug in these little missile pods right there, and that's what that's supposed to look like. And yeah, I can see what they were going for, but they don't look all that great. And I wanted to point out before we get into the figure itself, more than 90% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel who are watching. So subscribe to the channel. You guys know who you are. Taking a closer look at the tank mode here. And yeah, that doesn't look great. It just looks like he has a jet cockpit literally sitting right outside the tank. This is dumb. But ignoring that little defect, the rest of the tank looks great. I like the treads going right across the bottom here. They're not functional, but there are some rolling wheels, which do make this actually quite rollable. The tank turret's got the Decepticon logo. I love the tan and the purple. All the mechanical detailing and everything there is nice and precise. And overall, really nice, solid, and actually very hefty tank mode. This guy's got quite a lot of plastic, barely any kibble right here, except for this little piece of the chest and the obvious. And then as for posability, like I mentioned, the tank can roll forward and backward. It can rotate on the turret, and then the turret can also hinge up and down due to transformation. And also, just a fun little thing here, due to the transformation, you can make this thing into a snub-nose tank. You know, a snub nose where it has a shorter turret. And that actually doesn't look too bad. Thought that was a fun little feature if you guys prefer this kind of look. But anyway, that is basically it for the tank mode. For Blitzwing comparisons, here is the Legacy Blitzwing compared to the thrilling 30 Voyager Blitzwing. Here is Blitzwing compared next to Astro Train in his train mode. And then here he is with my last Transformers review, the Transformers Kingdom Black Arachnia. So anyway, check out that review if you missed out on it. And now we'll transform Blitzwing from his tank mode into his jet mode. And now taking a look at Blitzwing's jet mode here. I like how it completely changes from tan to purple. Very nice color change right there from the modes. Makes them actually feel like two separate vehicles, other than just, you know, a vehicle folding in under itself. But obviously that illusion is broken when just ignoring the bottom there. I do like a lot of the details right here, like the silver nose cone right there, the red cockpit, very menacing looking. It's got the yellow right there. You got the Decepticon logo, bits of silver throughout the figure. The purple looks great. All the mechanical panel lining and everything is precise. I like the silver Decepticon logos right there. Nice silver fins right back there. Some big old thrusters. And overall, very nice jet mode here. You've got landing gear. There's no rolling around or anything, but you can obviously whoosh this guy around all you like. And the kibble from this being the tank mode is quite obvious. I would have liked for them to have found a way to compress this in just a little bit more, just to make this that little bit more flat. But honestly, I don't know how they could have gotten around with this tank turret, but overall, I think they did a pretty admirable job at making the triple changing aspect of the figure overall. So anyway, that is really it for all I really have to say about the jet, only except these don't really have anywhere to go for weapon storage on this. And then, again, these just kind of peg in on any of the 5mm ports that you can find all over this figure. So, weapon storage is still accessible as well. Here is the Legacy Blitzwing's jet mode compared to the Thrilling 30 jet mode, and obviously, this one looks a lot more aerodynamic than that one. And here is Blitzwing with Siege Astro Train's Space Shuttle mode, and then Black Arachnia. Alright, now that we've covered the tank and jet, let's now transform this guy into his robot mode, the bread and butter of this whole figure. And there we have Blitzwing in his robot mode. Let's just get right on into those details. Taking a look at Blitzwing's head sculpt, this head sculpt came out looking very good. I like the way how the silver face with the red visor, the yellow helmet, just so iconic on Blitzwing. That nice mechanical detailing and cartoon accuracy continues down the body, right to the shoulders and onto the chest. I like the Decepticon logo there. The silver and the red and the yellow is a great color combination, especially on this color, especially on this figure with that beige. And then overall, those bits and highlights of silver throughout the figure, combined with the mechanical panel lining, just overall makes this figure look that much greater. And I'm not too big a fan of the whole thruster feat, but honestly, they could have been a lot worse, and it doesn't really bug me all that much. But I did want to point it out. And then this guy's back kibble does kind of hang off of his back quite a bit, but honestly, this guy is so sturdy that it doesn't weigh him down, so as long as it doesn't compromise his balancing, that's alright by me. We're going over Blitzwing's articulation. He's got a nice ball joint at the head, swivels at the ball joint. Shoulders have a little hinge joint right here, which allows the arm to move forward. It can't really move back all that much. Can move outward. He does get a bicep swivel. 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. He does get a wrist swivel. He does also get a waist swivel. Front skirt moves up, allows the legs to move forward. They can't really move back all that far. They can move outward that far. Thigh swivel. Little over 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And then the ankles can pivot like that, but no up and down, unless you count that transformation toe bend. So that is basically it for the articulation on Blitzwing. And when you give it Blitzwing his accessories, it really brings out a lot of that great, those great poses that really remind me why I love this character so much. He just is so cool. Get out of here, you piece of shit. He really brings in that Transformers essence and reminds me of why I love this franchise and why I like these figures. Most poses that I get this guy in really make this guy look that much cooler. Like I said, most poses. I honestly would have rather them not included these giant things at all and just had given us a slightly reduced price for having less plastic in the box. But even worse, they don't even stay on all that well. Like, why are these hands so freaking useless? Maybe Blitzwing could give Shockwave a hand. Also, Blitzwing was most famously the punchline of one of the most famous quoted scenes from G1.
Hang on! Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches booby.
As for the size comparisons, here he is with the thrilling 30 Voyager class Blitzwing. I still think this figure is a piece of crap, no matter how big it is. And then here is Blitzwing compared to the Leader class Earthrise Astro Train, and I think this is a perfect scale for these two. And then here he is compared with my last review, the Kingdom Black Arachnia.
Booby.
And that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Legacy Leader Class Blitzwing. And yeah, the figure definitely turned out really good. The promotional images don't lie to you. What you see is what you get. The only thing I'm not that big a fan of is those big gun hand accessories. I would have liked to then have either put that amount of plastic into the figure to make him a little bit bigger, or maybe put in that plastic and give him some extra accessories that actually matter, or heck, don't even include him at all and just let us have a slightly cheaper product because there's less plastic and pieces in the box. But whatever, they had to include them for some reason because they wanted something in the box that had to do with their whole Energon-infused weapons gimmick. But honestly, I don't have a use for them, and I don't think they look all that great in the first place. But the figure itself, though, is amazing. My only real complaint is that the jet mode just has a little bit of kibble hanging off of it, and the tank mode has that tiny little bit hanging out in the front. But I'm more harsh on the jet mode than I am on the tank. I feel jet is the one that got sacrificed for both the robot mode and tank mode. Overall, I like the figure. The posability is great. Detail's awesome. I love how he's super detailed and really faithful to the G1 cartoon. And yeah, if I had to give this figure a rating, I give him a solid 9 out of 10. My only complaint is just the price on the figure, specifically because I didn't pay $50 to get a pair of laser finger hands. I didn't pay $50 for these. I paid $50 for this. This is what I'm paying for. And that's basically it for the whole video. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you guys did, be sure to give me a like on the video. Be sure to comment down below what you guys think. Let me know, are you guys going to pick this guy up? Like, what are your opinions on this guy? Or just comment whatever you guys feel like, just as long as it's not, as long as it's appropriate. And yeah, thank you all for watching. This has been Briximus Prime, and I'll catch you guys next time.